Hi, babies. Hi. Hello. Hello. Good morning. We're filming the podcast. I'm gonna give a quick studio tour. You come in through here. That's what you guys see. We have a big light, little light, big windows, Zach's office, and the camera is over here. So that's what you guys see. I forgot I was vlogging, or I technically haven't even vlogged yet, but this is like kind of the beginning.
Oh,
but
okay.
Julia's
Hi.
Here. Hello. It's
Welcome
not
to
focused.
Kendall's YouTube video.
Welcome back to another episode of the Know Your Power podcast. I'm your host, Kendall Aaliyah.
And I'm Julia Renee.
I almost fell over the desk today. Hi YouTube, good morning. I am fully aware that I shouldn't be vlogging while driving, and yet I am doing it anyway. I just got finished with filming the podcast. My plan for today was to wake up early and vlog. But I simply did not. So I was kind of rushing to get to Julia's to film our 2 podcast episodes. So I don't know what I filmed while I was there. I don't think it was much. I'm very out of it when we film these episodes. Part of me wishes we filmed it later in the day just because I know I would be funnier. I don't have the, what's the word? I don't have the energy to be funny in the morning. I'm just fighting to survive at that point. I'm not really fighting to get some laughs, you know? But anyway, it was 2 great episodes. They come out Monday and Wednesday, every Monday and Wednesday, for those of you who don't know, over on our own YouTube channel, the Know Your Power podcast YouTube channel, which is always linked down below, might I add. Anyway, Monday's episode was, what was it? I think it was kind of just a life update for both of us. I talked a little bit about my new journey and transition into a little more hybrid mixed training instead of just bodybuilding. I need to stop talking with my hands and putting everyone around me in danger. And another thing is a new segment we do on our podcast, which I have found my hidden talent. This is the one thing I have found that I'm good at, and it is debating what your gym wear says about you. And I realize it's technically just stereotyping people, but I'm really good at it. So we did that. And then Wednesday episode, we did a bodybuilding Q&A where we answered all of your bodybuilding specific questions. And that's all. Now I'm heading home. I have been a little bit out of my routine this week. I feel like I've just been traveling a lot. I really haven't been, but I feel like I am. So I was out of town at this beach town outside of Galveston, which is outside of Houston, over the weekend, and they don't have a single gym there. It is this very small peninsula island vibe. So I didn't really work out while I was there. I'm feeling a little bit out of my routine and excited and eager to get back into my routine. So once I get home, I think the plan is that my boyfriend and I are gonna go for a run, because I feel like when I do lack some motivation, sometimes having a workout partner with you kind of fires you up a little more. So I asked if he would please join me on my run today, and he said yes. And even if he said no, I was gonna drag his ass there. Going feral. He's going feral. I tried to get it on camera, but I still had it zoomed in. But he just went absolutely insane and tried licking my teeth, which is disgusting. And now he still won't give the football up. You're crazy, my guy. You're crazy. It is 11 a.m. There is no need to be doing all this. Time to run. Since they were ahead, they've never ran this trail, and they kind of took a turn. Hopefully I can find them. Right now I'm lost. Of course there's somehow stairs. God always finds his way to make me do Stairmaster. Okay, so as I tried to explain while I was running, the usual loop I do here is exactly 2 miles, and it's a loop. You go out, you loop around, you come back. My boyfriend and his brother were ahead of me, and you can see exactly where we left the loop, and straight off course And now I am 2.5 miles from the car. So are they, and they're still running. I think I need to just walk back. I hit 2 miles running. I feel like I'm dying. So just taking it nice and easy on the way home. I got bored, so we're running again. I think I'm only like a mile away. I've also been vlogging a little bit, so I was like trying to update them of like, I think I'm lost. I don't even know what I filmed or didn't film. I feel like I was in a fever dream. When I started walking, I got like the chills, like my skin was crawling. And I'm still recovering, so I'll see you guys later. She didn't send my letter. Y'all, I have had quite the last 2 hours since speaking with you. So I get home from the run, I shower, I chillax, I watch some chillax. I have not said that since like 2014. I put on some Theo Von, my favorite podcaster and comedian literally ever, and I'm chilling. It's a great time. I have a client in like 20 minutes, let me get ready and head to the car, and I get to my car and that shit doesn't start. My car does not start, and I go, oh no. And let me just say, fully preventable situation. I think a few things happened, but it is all my fault. I was a little too lazy to stop on my way home from the podcast to fill up my tank. Okay, so I was definitely pushing it on the low fuel. Like it was past empty. Like it was getting concerning. The low fuel light had like just turned on. Which, should I let it get to that point? No, absolutely not, but it did just turn on, which means I have like a good 15 miles in my tank, okay? I do believe that is the root of the problem, but also, I have a pretty steep driveway and my car was like backed into it, meaning the front of my car was pointing down. None of this is important at all, but I'm sharing it anyway. So I think that the little fuel I did have left had all rushed to the front of the tank, and so my car was sensing that I had like an absolutely empty tank, nothing was in there, and I started freaking out. I'm too embarrassed to tell my roommates. My boyfriend already headed to work, so I'm like, shit, what do I do? So I'm like, okay, think fast, Kendall. Maybe the steepness, maybe the driveway is the problem. Not me, could never be me. I'm not the problem. Clearly it's the driveway's fault. So I put my car into neutral to like roll forward, thinking I could like slyly turn my car and just like kind of be parked in front of my house instead of in my driveway, which half works, but you can't really turn your car when like it's not starting and it's in neutral. So I am kind of just stuck. I'm just like stuck blocking the entire road now, okay? I am fully being an issue to everyone around me, and I live on like a part of my neighborhood that's really slow. I only have like one house next to me, and then it's like a cul-de-sac, so like no one's coming past me, but my neighbor's outside doing yard work, and kids are getting home from school, so like there's kids walking by me. I'm just embarrassed. I get embarrassed very easily. I'm in like panic mode. What do I do? My car is stuck here. I have too much pride to tell anyone why or how. And then I remember that we have a gas lawnmower and we happen to have 2 tanks. I checked the first one, empty. I checked the second one and I'm like, please God, praying, right? And it was full, thankfully. And so I walk over to my car, I put some gas in it, like just the tiniest amount, enough to get my car running. Like I fully think I did have enough gas. It just, my car was not sensing that I had enough gas, and I think I'm fully making that up to make myself feel better. Anyway, I get it going, I go fill up. This is nobody's fault, this is completely avoidable, and it is fully on me and my stupidity and or my laziness. So be better than me. And this is not the first time I've done this, okay? I've ran out of gas at least 3 times in my lifetime, and I'm sure this will not be the last. And there's never a valid excuse. Never ever. I passed the gas station on the way to my house. I passed like at least 45 gas stations on the way to my house, and I chose not to stop at any of them and then reaped the repercussions of that. Anyway, we're all good now, headed to my clients. I'm about to train my last one for the day. I just had enough time to share that little story with y'all. I was the one training people. I was not the one working out, and yet this is how sweaty I am, just from simply existing in the Texas heat. I know I need to grocery shop a little bit. I'm not getting a ton, just like some basics, maybe like 2 or 3 types of protein, rice, maybe some veggies. But while I'm driving to the grocery store, I passed by Half Price Books, which for those of you who don't know or aren't in the reading world, it's basically this store where you can like exchange books in, they pay you for your books. It's almost like a thrift store, like a high-end thrift store where they pay you for your stuff. So I have a stack of books I've already finished that I don't want to keep in my collection just because I don't think I'll ever reread them. Might as well give them to someone who will. So I'm gonna go exchange those in, and maybe I'll look at what they already have and get myself a new book since I finished mine the other day. Okay, I keep most of my books in here and like most of the good ones back there because I want to keep them forever, so no point in even having them out. This is the stack that I plan on exchanging in, and I thought it'd be fun, just in case any of you also read, to give you my quick rating of all of these. So this first one, it happened one summer. I never read it, okay? I heard good things, went and picked it up. I don't really like reading the backs of books or like getting any sort of teaser, spoiler, anything. I like going into my books blind if I hear good things. And this is written in third person, which I refuse to read. I need my books to be in first person, so did not read her. These two are just two little books I picked up years ago at a thrift store. Didn't read them. They've just been sitting there when I wasn't a reader. I thought it'd be cool to have books around. By a Thread, Lucy Score. I feel like Lucy Score gets a little bit of hate on the internet, okay? I think some of her books can be a little cheesy, so I guess like that's the consensus. But when I first got into reading as an adult, Lucy Score was like my first author I read. So in my eyes, she can do no wrong. Okay, love the lady. This one was a thick one, and I read it in like 2 days, which means I liked it a lot at the time. I don't remember it too much. I remember it being very steamy, and that's about it. So I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. Next up is Icebreaker, Hannah Grace. I feel like this is all over everyone and their mother's For You page on TikTok. And that's why I read it. And I thought it was cute. Not obsessed with it. Probably wouldn't read it again. That's why it's in this pile. But it was cute. It was a good read. I would also give this a 7.5 out of 10. Maybe an 8. 7.75. This is the second book to this one. And I didn't realize when I picked this up. And I think if I knew that and I got it at the time, or like in the mood to read a sequel, or I think it's just like an adjacent, I'm over explaining. I never read it. I actually might keep this one. You know what? This is convincing me. I'm gonna keep this one. I have been in like a thriller, horror, dark romance type of reading vibe. So this one has just felt like a little too cutesy to read right now. That's why I haven't. But maybe I'll keep her if I'm ever in the mood for something like easy to read, because these are also pretty short books. And then lastly is Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. If you know, you know, okay? Penelope Douglas really pushes the limits sometimes. Her books are steamy, but like in a questionable way. And this one was good. This was not like her craziest book ever. This one was decent. I just wasn't obsessed with it, which is why I don't feel the need to hold on to it. I give this a 6 out of 10. Maybe a 6.5 because the suspense in it was really well done. But the book I just finished was the second one to this one. And that book I just read, which is currently over there under my side of the bed. The second one is a good like 8 out of 10. So I feel like this one is worth reading just to get to the second one. But both are good. They're just kind of a continuation of a story. So, hi, I meant to film in the bookstore. I didn't. I think I got like a little too enveloped at actually looking at books that I forgot to bring my camera or phone out at all. I'm also too hungry to literally think or function, so time for the grocery store. I would love to do like ASMR cooking, but I own a Frenchie. All you'll hear is him snorting and chewing and snoring in the background. Not a great dog to have if you want to do some ASMR stuff. I'm currently snacking on some rice cakes while I wait for my beef to cook, which I'm making to eat while my ribs are cooking. And if that doesn't encompass what being a fitness girly is, I truly don't know what does, okay? Because I'm all about snacking while preparing your next meal for the next meal. Please tell me if I'm alone in that. She's beautiful. She's stunning. She's amazing. I'm gonna go lay on the couch and eat this and finish my Theo Von podcast, and I will see you guys later when I feel like a human being again. I'm also adding some of this homemade cane sauce. I've never had canes because I don't think anything they have is gluten-free, but I have been told by the one person that tried this that it does taste like cane sauce. I'm gonna put the recipe on the screen, and I used light mayo to make this just like healthier. I don't think you can make this type of sauce healthy, but it's not the worst.
Wine corkers or whatever, like that bottle the wine, like yeah, and then they'll have a charcuterie board sometimes.
I'm forcing him to eat it with a fork because they just got out of the oven, and I don't want his second-degree burn to sway the voting. What do you give it out of 10?
Like a rib scale?
On like a
Rib scale.
On a rib scale.
I give it a 7.9.
Hello. Good morning. I'm starting off today by taking some Instagram content because I haven't been great at that recently. So I have my little tripod set up. Please ignore the huge mess on my bed going on. I tried shooting in this corner earlier, so I had to clear everything out so that it could be like a blank background. Ended up hating all of the shots anyway, so now I'm shooting this way and I'm gonna be standing in that doorway. I just have a little like bikini moment on. It's actually just a sports bra with a bikini bottom. So I thought it would be fun to show you guys the behind the scenes of what taking in-home content looks like. I showed you guys this once before, but for those of you who have Sony cameras, I always recommend getting this app called Imaging Edge Pro. If I'm wrong, I'll correct myself on the screen later. It basically just mimics what your camera is seeing onto your phone so that I can take it over here with me. And now I can see exactly what my camera is seeing. I haven't talked to y'all much today. I also haven't done much today. Here's the thing. I slept until noon, which is alarming, seeing that I went to sleep around midnight, which is kind of early for me, which means I got like 12 hours of sleep, which I haven't done since I was an actual toddler. But sleeping till noon when you're used to getting up around 8 a.m. really throws your day for a loop, okay? I feel like I'm not a real person. I feel like I have done a lot today, but nothing has like registered in my brain. I just left the gym. I did legs. I did film the workout, but I filmed it all vertically for Instagram. But hopefully future editing Kendall can find a way to show you the workout, even though it'll be insanely cropped and zoomed in. I don't know. I'll find a way, okay? I'll find a way. That's basically it. I feel like you guys can sense the vibe here, that I'm slightly unwell. I think I just need food and water. I'm like really aggressively dehydrated, and it is so hot in Texas, so wildly hot. I fear that I am single-handedly keeping teriyaki madness in business, but let me tell you, the times I don't feel like cooking, it just makes the most sense, and it's so easy, and they're so fast, and it's always good, and I can't open this. I got a little kid's meal so that I would force myself to cook later today, because if I get like their bigger sizes, like even this is like the size of my hand, it lasts me like 2 or 3 meals. But it is loaded up with chicken, veggies, white rice, pretty basic, and I am so hungry, and sometimes you just gotta not cook. Never misses. Teriyaki madness never misses. I'm also mixing myself a little liquid IV because, like I was saying, I feel like excessively dehydrated recently. And I've told a few people this before. I don't know what's wrong with me or if this is normal. I don't think it is. I've literally never heard anyone else say this. But when I get dehydrated, something happens in one of my ears where I literally like, my voice sounds really loud. It's almost like my ear needs to pop. So I have to like sniff in and like reverse pop my ear because I can't hear other people. It's like I go mildly deaf, but my own voice gets really loud. And I've discovered the only thing I can tell that is linked to that is me being dehydrated. So like every bodybuilding peak week I've ever done where you start to pull water, that happens to me. And like today it's happening to me, and it is just the most like odd and annoying thing ever. Cheers. I can't even drink water. We have a new addition to our home, and it might just be the coolest thing in the whole world. It's a massage chair. This thing is actually insane. My boyfriend's parents owned this, but they had moved from Texas to Florida, and it was just one of those things that they like couldn't bring with. It didn't make sense bringing with, so they gave it to us. Hi there, I am currently sitting here editing the video that you just watched, and I keep forgetting to film proper outros, and I do think it's important because it really does mean so much to me that any of you watch any of my videos. So I want to give a proper thank you, and I love you, and thank you so much for watching. I know this vlog in particular was very sporadic and all over the place, and I'm not feeling my hottest today, so I kind of just abruptly ended it. But seriously, thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next Friday.